We got the keys.
We got the keys.
Everybody,
we got the keys.
Dance with me. Jump back, round, round and round and round.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to March's episode of We've Got the Keys, Mortgage Talk with the Broad Squad. If you missed last month's episode, which was our first episode where we introduced ourselves, the link is below. Please check it out, like, and subscribe. If you remember from last month, we had our lovely wheel that we spun that we're going to spin each month that will represent a lifestyle topic and a mortgage topic. Last month's wheel landed on your dream house and floral arranging. So we're going to do a little bit of floral arranging today while we talk about dream house, what a dream house means to us. We'll share what our favorite dream house would be. And we're also going to talk a little bit about what today's dream house may be for people. Suzanne, would you like to tell us a little bit about what your dream house would be?
Well, before we do that, Bonnie, let's kind of get some of the flower arrangement going while we're talking.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone has done a little bit of arrangement with flowers, but I've kind of dabbled with it myself, and there actually is an art to it, which is, kind of like anything, right? Artistic. Mm-hmm. So usually you want to kind of pick the flowers that you want. You want to have some good greenery because that's going to kind of be your base, and then some bigger flowers. And the idea is when you're starting this out, you're going to want to make sure that you clip them at an angle. So like that. Now, one of the things that is a tip is that they say to take off all of the foliage that's going to be underwater. So that's kind of one of the tricks that they say too. So dream house. Well, I don't really have a dream house in particular anymore, kind of past that phase. But when we were looking at houses back when our family was growing, my main thing was I wanted to have a first floor laundry and mudroom. So when my 4 children, were outside playing, they could just run in to the side without running through the house and just go in the mudroom, use the bathroom, whatever that they needed to do. And when they were muddy, they could just take off their clothes and drop them right then and there, and they didn't have to trance through the house. So that was like one of the things that I really, really wanted in my dream house when we were kind of looking. But other than that, I was pretty realistic with my dream house. I think that's the main thing these days. We need to be realistic, especially with this market and first-time buyers. We all have a vision of what that dream house might be. However, depending upon what you can afford, it might be a starter home that you get into. The main thing is gaining equity, and then as you grow your family and you decide to maybe you need to have another house, and you have that equity to go into another house, that might be your dream house down the road. Laura, do you have any dream house ideas over there?
No, it's funny. When I bought my house 25 years ago, I used to think my dream house was I need a fireplace so I can come home from a day at work and have a glass of wine in front of my fireplace.
Oh.
So we never use our fireplace, and I don't drink wine hardly at all because I'm too tired. At the end of the day, the last thing I want to do is drink a glass of wine. I just want to, watch The Bachelor and go to bed. So I think your dream home can change. Your ideas of a dream home can change as you change, right? Mm-hmm. So now I realize I've been in my house for 25 years. I'm still in my first home. We never moved. Really, a lot of it is location, location, location. You hear that in the real estate world about how important location is. You can change your wallpaper, you can change your bathroom, you can change your kitchen, but you can't change your location. And I can honestly say 25 years later, we love where we live. We just love where we live. The location has worked out really great for us. We love it so much that we don't want to leave. So I think your perception of what's a perfect dream home can just evolve and change as you get older and think a little bit more about the needs that you have. We still have a 1970s baby blue bathroom, but you know what? It's fine. It works.
That's kind of in style
kids
now.
use
Yeah,
it. It's all coming back. If you just wait long enough, it'll all
It does.
It all comes back.
Yes, just like the music.
Yeah. Tia, what about you?
So
I'm doing this all wrong.
Oh,
I'm
you're
bad at
doing
this.
lovely.
Doesn't matter. I'm in my second home that I bought for myself when the kids are little. We just celebrated our 15th anniversary being there.
Wow.
And I know.
15
Remember when I
years.
bought
I
it?
remember when you bought
Yeah,
that house.
Gosh.
And so I bought it. I mean, it had 4 bedrooms, so each kid got their own bedroom, which was a dream. Actually, just buying the house was a dream. It had a walkout basement. It had a pool with a really great deck around it. And, you know, for the kids, that was fantastic. Well, then the kids grew up and they left. So,
They do.
as they do. I told them not to, but they did. But that's all right. They have grandbabies now, and that makes me happy. But I ended up taking the pool down, and there were a lot of trees, and it was a pain to take care of. And I filled that in. So I have this huge deck. And what I've been doing, my dream, is to make it an outdoor living space. So I love those outdoor kitchens,
Yes.
the seating arrangement, the little fire spot. It's beautiful. So the changing of what your dream home is, it absolutely changes with time. And I think as new buyers starting out, that's the great thing about having a home, is that you always make it what you want. But Pinterest is a great resource to go on, start your board, save things, and then you always have something to, you know, to look forward to.
Right.
So, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's my
What about
dream
you,
home
Bonnie?
stuff.
What about your dream home?
Oh, I'd say right now I probably have my dream home. The first home my husband and I had was in Staten Island, New York. It was a very small ranch home.
Can imagine.
When we moved, well, I moved back up here. I dragged him here.
Postage stamp.
We talked about that last time. We were able to build a house, which was fantastic,
Yeah, it's a
and
beautiful
I was
house.
able to get exactly what I wanted. So we've been in that house now for almost 30 years. We've renovated a few things. The biggest thing we renovated was the kitchen, which was so much fun a couple of
Sorry.
years ago.
I just got a thing and it flung to her.
As you get older, though, things change. Your dream house changes.
They do.
I'd say my dream house now might be a smaller ranch, less to take care of, with an in-ground pool and maybe a very warm climate.
Yes.
that might be kind of nice.
Which won't be New York State.
No, maybe
Although I
not.
must say, this
was
week
very-
we've had some great
It was very
weather.
warm yesterday,
Hence
Bonnie.
the reason why we're doing spring flowers.
You know, what is today's buyer looking for as their dream home? And how do you help set the expectations for that when you're talking with them about finances and numbers and what you want your monthly payment to be, as well as how they should
That's beautiful.
center this discussion with their realtor
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
You know, the realtor wants to meet their expectations as much as possible, but sometimes it's not possible to get everything that you want in your dream home. Suzanne, what would you say is your advice for buyers now and
Well-
dream home and what they should tell the realtor?
Definitely. Are you creating a flower war team?
I don't know what's happening. I just clip it. It just, oh, no, I just got myself wet. You know that.
I would say, as Bonnie mentioned, you know, when you're getting qualified by your loan officer, you know, we're going to kind of give you an idea of what fits your budget payment-wise. And when you are, you know, looking at your house, looking at your homes and thinking about your dream home, you know, do you want to have a large lot? Do you want to have a small lot, postage size stamp like that in New York City, right? Do you want to have two-story? Are you looking for that ranch? You know, if you don't want to do any maintenance, maybe you're looking for a condo or a townhome where the maintenance is usually provided for you. So those are all things that you're going to want to kind of sit down and take a look at. The different styles that you might be, you know, hoping for in your home search. It's important for your agent to know that, so they can set you up on the search that you want. 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. Do you want a garage? You know, things of that nature. So start with the basics and then kind of just go from there. But you got anything to add on that?
You know, I just think back of when I was a first-time home buyer, right? I was very payment-driven. I really wanted to make sure I could control my monthly payment. The affordability of that mortgage was really something I was laser focused on. So when I talk with people about purchasing a home, one of the first things I ask is, what is your comfort level with that monthly mortgage payment, right? We're not making the mortgage payment, our customers are. So we really want to try and drive that comfort level and steer them towards what sales price range that's going to equal mathematically. And sometimes that comfort level has a wide range, right? And sometimes we have to move that comfort
Yes.
level, right? People might start off with a monthly payment goal of $2,000 a month. Sometimes to get what they need or get what they want, they might have to bump that up a little bit.
Yes.
So every customer is different.
That's a very good point.
So at GRB, we really want to strive to focus and make sure that that monthly mortgage payment is something
Right.
that the borrowers are not only comfortable with now, but as their family size may change, that they're comfortable with moving forward.
And you did make a good point, Laura. I just want to stress, while you're getting qualified and you're searching for that house, do not make any large purchases at all. Do not open up any store credit cards or any credit card for that matter, or loan. I know that there might be a good deal out there you think that you're going to miss up on. Maybe ask a family member to maybe purchase it and then you can pay them back after closing. But don't mess anything up with that credit,
Yeah.
because it definitely can change.
0% credit cards, they still show up.
Exactly, they do.
And Suzanne, once you go under contract and buy a house, should you buy appliances before closing?
Absolutely not.
No appliances. None. Why is that? Because people don't know what they don't know, right? So we often tell our customers, if you go under contract and you're applying for a mortgage, there may be a great incentive for you to buy those appliances. Don't buy those appliances until after you close, because we
Exactly.
get notified if you open up
Exactly.
any new credit, and now we need the
Exactly.
terms of the credit, and now that new payment and that
Right.
new balance might impact your debt to income ratio,
Sure.
could throw a wrench into some
Right.
things. So we talk with customers about making sure no unusual or unplanned purchasing until after
Mm-hmm.
closing. You can still use your credit card. You just can't open up any
Right.
new credit,
Right.
because that will then possibly create more paperwork.
I had somebody who did, they bought $15,000 worth of furniture
Goodness.
2 weeks before they closed.
That just
And then
made me,
pushed their debt to income, and at 0% interest, they thought they were doing
Yep.
something great, but we got notified. And what happened was it pushed their debt to income up above an
Yes.
unacceptable level,
Yes.
which meant they had to go back to the store, even though they didn't have it, they had to do the return. We had to then update the credit report to show that they didn't have any, their closing got pushed back by 2 weeks.
Exactly, because not only is it the payment, but that's another hit on your credit, which could lower your credit score.
Right.
And that's going to change the whole dynamic of your qualification. Now we know there's sometimes cases where emergencies happen. Maybe a car breaks down and you need your car to get to work.
Right.
Always call your loan officer.
Always.
Hey, Suzanne, Tina,
Yep.
Laura, Bonnie. You know what? I got an issue with my car. I'm going to need to purchase one. What can I afford
Right.
to fit my budget? So keep that in mind. We're here to get you through from the beginning to the end.
Right.
And that's all, what it's all about. Hey girls, your flowers are looking beautiful.
They're looking pretty nice.
Terrible at this.
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see your flowers, but I think they look pretty.
Well, they're pretty. I'll just let you know.
Thank you.
So we've talked a lot about what your dream home may be as a first-time buyer, but we also deal with a lot of clients who maybe started out with a starter home that wasn't their dream home, but are ready to buy their next home.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be their dream
Our
home.
seasoned buyers. We love our seasoned buyers.
Yes, we do. And we do a fantastic job here at GRB of preparing you to purchase that next home and helping you find a way to purchase it in today's market. We've got a lot of different tools and tips and tricks that we have been using, whether it's helping you extract some equity from your current home to start the search for your next home. If you want to build a house, we do a lot of work with builders here, and that's a very fun and exciting venture to start.
Is that
But
what you call it? Fun and exciting?
yes, it's fun and exciting. I find it fun and exciting. People may find that process very stressful, but it's fun and exciting. Who doesn't?
We're on the fun and exciting side.
Yes. Who doesn't love to pick out all new stuff to put in your house? And
Bonnie, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you purchase a new home contingent on the sale of your old home in today's market?
yeah, in today's market, being a contingent buyer is not conducive to today's market. So we work a lot with the buyer who is ready to step up to the next home on how to purchase that next home non-contingent, meaning you do not have to sell your existing home in order to purchase the next home.
What's the easiest way to do that?
The easiest way to do that is to meet with us. We figure out a good plan. We may put a home equity line of credit in place to pull some equity out of the current home.
AKA bridge loan.
AKA bridge loan. That way you have money to put down on the next house before you sell your existing home.
Yes.
And that's been extremely helpful in this market today.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of home equity lines of credits for our customers. Really record numbers of home equity lines of credit.
Yes.
You know, 5 years ago, you could buy your next house contingent on the sale of your old house. That means you could close them together.
Right.
In today's market, a contingent offer is the kiss of death, right? Like you'll never get your offer accepted in a competitive offer situation. So we talk with customers about the equity that they have in their home. A home equity line of credit is a really great tool to pull that equity out now at a really great interest rate and use that as your down payment for the next house.
Yes.
So I had a couple who are downsizing. They have 3 girls. The last one is in her last year of college this year. They own a house in Pittsburgh, and they decided they want to downsize. They found a beautiful condo where they don't have to
nice.
take care of any of the yard.
Nice.
It looks like something out of like Manhattan.
Wow.
This place is really. But here's the thing: he was going to borrow from his 401k to use as closing cost, and then they were going to sell their house afterwards because their income's enough that they
Yes,
could be
yes.
non-contingent. However, they found out they could only take a certain amount out of the 401k. So we had to put our heads together, and I called my favorite HELOC retail mortgage aficionado, Miss Laura Smith.
Laura Smith.
And she was able to get that all arranged. We're going through this process together. It's not something they have to do twice. We're sharing,
Right.
we're sharing documents, we're sharing, communicate, and they are thrilled.
Yeah.
They are thrilled. So, I mean, where else can we do that?
And that's one of the things we can advise our customers on, instead of thinking about taking a huge chunk of funds out of your 401k,
Right.
look at the equity that you have in your existing home and just consider that as an
Right.
alternative, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Right. Now, sometimes, you're not always able to qualify though carrying those payments. And that's
Right.
kind of what, with this market and those prices increasing, at every minute of the day, right? Every year that those house prices are increasing, I'd say 4 to 5% on average, right? They're going up. So that's quite a bit. So if you were looking a year ago and you didn't find that house, this year the houses are going to be even more. So that could be a strain on someone's budget to be able to qualify going quote unquote non-contingent of their sale, because you have to qualify with both payments and all your other liabilities that you pay on. So you always need to have a plan. So if you are in that position, sometimes talk to your agent, get your house under contract. Go ahead and list it, get it under contract. Give yourself time to find another house. This day and age, there's not many houses out there, so there could be someone out there looking for your house. So go ahead and list it, and then see what happens.
I think the important thing is to have the plan in place.
Yes.
Before you start getting out and looking at things, put that financial plan in place, because there are many pieces to it today. Whether you're a first-time buyer or you're a repeat buyer, the financial plan, and we talked about this a little bit last episode as well, is very, very important to have that plan in place. It can be very stressful if you're out looking at homes and you find a home that you absolutely cannot live without, and then you have no pre-qualification or pre-approval from a bank. You have to have that plan in place to make your search successful today.
Yes.
And Bonnie, how far in advance do you think, if someone's thinking about buying a home, how far in advance should they get pre-approved?
Yeah, you should really get pre-approved about, 30 days in advance. If you are a first-time buyer, you may want to get pre-approved many months in advance, just so you know that you have the amount of money that is needed and that you have that good plan in place.
Right.
It is very important to do it ahead of time, though, and not to do it when you found the house that you
Right.
really want to purchase.
It happens,
Right.
but it adds a lot more stress.
It does.
And one thing that we like to do is the more we can educate, the more we can look at your particular situation, the less stressful the process is. So that's kind of our
Exactly.
goal.
Exactly.
I love it when people come to me a year before they're ready to
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
I love
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I recommend at least a year because in this market, it could take you a year to find that house.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us have buyers that we've been working with for the last 3 years?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, it is all about making that plan and being prepared.
Yep.
Finding their dream home.
and I welcome
Yeah.
anybody that, is like, what, maybe not right now. I just re-signed my lease and that's okay. But get prepared now so you know for future.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah,
goal.
and Suzanne, would you say that, when you get pre-approved, sometimes your expectations can change?
They definitely can.
You might say, well, gee, I want to buy in this sales price range, but the market's kind of tough, so I
Yes.
might need to increase my purchase
Yes.
price, or I might need to increase my payment.
Yes.
Right? So that relationship with your loan officer is critical.
And the other thing too, we were talking about our dream home. Maybe the location. Laura mentioned location. Well, maybe that location might change based on the property taxes in that neighborhood that you want it to be in might be too high for your budget. So that's what's important about getting that qualification and making that plan. So you know the exact search that your realtor could put you on, and you have that idea in your mind, and you're not going out being disappointed. We don't want anybody to be disappointed. We want them to be excited during
Or be
this
house
process.
poor.
Or be house
and
poor.
so in having these conversations, you might change your train of thought to go to a starter home, in essence, go to a starter home for a few years, build equity in that house, because the equity's building like crazy in this area.
Yes, it is.
And then in 3-4 years, turn around, sell that, utilize the funds from that new place to now be able to buy the bigger house that you wanted originally. So yeah, there's a lot of options, and having conversations with us is not only fun, but it's beneficial.
Right. It looks like we're just about done with
Yeah,
our
it
arrangement.
does.
So I know that we didn't give many tips through this, but as we did, we started with the greenery, and then we kind of filled with they're called the bigger flowers, right? And then we kind of filled in with the smaller ones. And then when we're all done, we have this great food to feed our
Yes.
flowers because we want them to stay alive, right? But if you don't have food, let's say you do have a garden at home, and you go out and you start snipping them, cheap, right? And it's just beautiful to see things from your own yard to be able to put into your house. It just is so refreshing, and just, you enjoy it so much more. You can use lemon juice, and then you can put a little bit of sugar in there,
Wow,
and a little
I
bit of
didn't know
bleach in
that.
there, because the bleach kind of keeps them from bacteria growing. So yeah,
Yep.
so lots of little
Yeah,
tips.
but these flower parties have become very popular.
They have.
Many people are doing housewarming parties with them, baby showers, bridal showers. It's a great thing to do. Go grab a whole bunch of flowers and
Yes.
let everybody bring their own vase, and then they can take their flower arrangement home. So whether it's buying your first dream house, buying your next dream house, or arranging flowers, we are always here to help you at GRB. We are looking forward to next month's video.
Do we gotta spin the wheel?
Which
We gotta
are
spin the wheel.
Are we
Where's the
spinning a wheel?
Do we have
Or are
the
we
wheel?
just going to pick it out because it's Easter next month?
It is
Let's
Easter
just pick
next
our own
month.
and not spin a wheel next
It
month.
is Easter next month.
Yes.
So let's do an Easter cocktail. How would that be?
That would be yummy.
And we have had a lot of people ask about renting versus buying. So I think that will be the topic of discussion for April's video. I hope you all tune in. We have been so excited to bring you this series, and we hope you are enjoying it. Again, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you, everybody. See you
Bye.
next month.
Bye.
Bye.